And, Tim, you talk about the games being on the internet, which will be great, but, the amazing thing today before I came out here to do the games was going on the website and just seeing the complete stats and standings and history of the game and just so much on the website. You guys have done an outstanding job with that, where if you're a fan, or more importantly, I'm sure if you're a player and you want to know how you're doing, or if you're a player playing against somebody, you want to know how the other team's doing. You know who's the key hitters? You go right to the website and take a look, and you can really do some scouting on the numbers.
Yep, and teams do that. I mean, I've definitely, guys have said, hey, I checked it. That's why we're not throwing this guy fastballs or whatever. And it also, you're right, it does. It looks great, and the guys, I always surprises me how many guys, go home having lost the game, and the score is posted, before they've taken their uniform off when they get home. It's
a beautiful thing. As that pitch is up high.
This is Eddie just handed me an email from Cliff Archer, who pitched in the first game, and but basically it was an email from Cliff and a couple of his players, just thanking us for, giving them the opportunity to play in a game like this, and that's the kind of thing that's rewarding. As okay, he said, on behalf of Ron Weiss, Joe Milady, and myself, we'd like to thank you for the opportunity to have an all-star game to play in. A great time was had by us all, and we appreciate the efforts you both, talking to Eddie and me, put forth tonight and throughout the season to ensure that we have baseball in our lives. Thank you. And that's a very nice sentiment of Cliffy Archer, as Garcia makes fast work of Giacomo Antonio.
But, that's really what it's all about.
This
is for fun. These guys, look, everybody's got a busy life, and trying to find time, wives and kids and girlfriends to find time to get out and do something that you love. And, hey, you got to take time out of a schedule to do it.
And what's particularly what I like about the All-Star games and the Friday nights is, you see we've got people out here that do we see people come out to see our games? Sure, there's occasionally a wife, girlfriend, children, people passing by. If you're playing in a large public park or whatever, you do get a few people, but to play in front of even 50,
sure,
60 people that's something these guys don't get to do. And on the other hand, or similarly, the fans, the friends and family and kids don't get that often an opportunity to come out for an evening. No school tomorrow. It's summertime. No work tomorrow. They don't have to get up early. Friday night's kind of the ideal night to do this. We have a beautiful night here. Everybody loves playing under the lights too. That's another thing that's always fun. And Garcia is making quick work of the Western Division here, striking out
Gil Torres.
From the Manhattan Expos.
Back-to-back strikeouts, both looking. So Garcia definitely throwing well.
So Garcia rearranging his uniform so that he's nice and neat here on the camera, on the TV. And who are we facing now?
This would be Will Horan.
Will Horan, okay.
Singled and scored back in the first in that 2-run inning for the West All-Stars. Fastball down low, 1-1.
Garcia.
Check that 2-0.
Garcia's got some nice velocity. He's also in that get it back and throw it category, which is nice to see. One's inside. He falls behind 3-0 after striking out the first two batters he faces. This has been a pattern this evening with getting 2 outs, and then I don't know if it's they're losing focus, but there's 4 straight balls to Horan.
What do you think he's throwing on the gun? 70s?
Yeah, I would say,
high 70s?
I would say high 70s. It's one of those things. We did one year, I think, have a gun.
Yeah, it didn't work as well as
it's difficult to tell. You can't really shoot from an upper angle. You have to be kind of straight behind. I did take a gun to some games and a couple of different times to see if I could get an idea.
Yeah, I should mention it. Radar gun.
The radar gun, yeah, not my other gun that I carry when I go into bad neighborhoods. But a radar gun, yeah. And I would say, yeah. I mean, 80 miles an hour is pretty quick. I know when you watch Major League Baseball and you see guys throwing 95 miles an hour, and they talk about 80-mile-an-hour changeups, as Haran is going to advance to second base on a wild pickoff throw there.
Boy, he threw that as hard as he threw his regular pitch.
Yeah.
He could handcuff the first baseman a bit there and share it.
Looked that way.
You see Haran down in second.
Again, I question the wisdom of bothering to look at even bother with a runner with 2 outs. So now instead of a runner on first who is, except on perhaps an extra base hit, not going to score,
right,
you've now got him in scoring position.
It's interesting that when you talk. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
when you talk about the
Stevie
radar
Goldman.
gun,
Yeah,
I was down in Norfolk at a minor league game, and sitting behind the plate, and there was a scout there actually from the Mets, and I sat with him, and he had his radar gun, and it's interesting to watch the way that first the gun works when it's really working, going up with guys that can throw in the 80s and maybe hit 90 on the gun, and the way that they scout everything, every pitch, it's quite an experience. I mean, these guys travel. All they do is go stadium to stadium, keep an eye on somebody.
I can't imagine. I mean, you've got to be awful dedicated or awful bored.
Comebacker.
as he's going to get a comebacker to get out of the inning relatively easily there after that minor lapse.
So no runs, no hits. It was a walk, an error, and 1 left at the end of 3 innings of play. The East All-Stars still in front by the score of 3-2.